listening to
Catholics Round,
the daily podcast for Catholic kids that strives to plant seeds of faith.
Today is September 15th, the feast of Our Lady of Sorrows. Today we celebrate how Mary stood by Jesus and willingly joined her suffering with his. Join me as we remember and honor Mary with this great title, and recall that no matter what pain or suffering we might be experiencing, Mary will also stay close to us. Mary pulled the limp head of her son to her chest. The thorns, still wrapped around his head, snagged her veil and pierced her skin. All day she had stood near him. She watched him struggle beneath the weight of the cross. She witnessed the soldiers whip his back and nail him to the cross. Through it all, silent tears had dripped from her eyes. But now, as he lay limp in her arms, she could no longer be silent. A scream burst from her lips. She wailed and rocked on her knees, holding her son, her Savior. The dark clouds overhead suddenly burst and sheets of rain fell. The dusty path tread over by so many that day quickly turned to thick mud. All of heaven, it seemed, wept with Mary as she sat at the foot of the cross, cradling the body of her son. Today, September 15th, we celebrate Our Lady of Sorrows. Yesterday, we recalled the great victory Christ won for us on the cross, with the feast day, the exaltation of the cross. Today, we continue to think back on that day that Christ died, but we remember the important role that Mary played on that day, as well as the important role that she plays in the lives of all Christians. Mary has many titles. The title Our Lady of Sorrows reminds us that Mary suffered as the Mother of God. The devotion to Our Lady of Sorrows points out 7 different painful moments in Mary's life. First, the presentation in the temple when Simeon predicted that Mary's heart would be pierced by a sword. Second, the exile to Egypt when the Holy Family fled to escape Herod's persecution. Third, losing Jesus in the temple when he was a boy. Fourth, Jesus being condemned to death. Fifth, the crucifixion of Jesus. Number 6, taking Jesus' body down from the cross. And finally, number 7, the burial of Jesus' body. Unlike most of Jesus' followers, Mary remained close to Jesus as he suffered, and she united her own suffering with his. Because she was willing to suffer with Jesus, we know that Mary is also willing to stand near and suffer with us. Moments before he died, Jesus looked down and saw Mary and his beloved disciples standing at the foot of the cross. In a final act of generosity, Jesus gave his beloved mother to the church. She is now our mother, and what she wants for us more than anything else is to bring us to her Son. Each of us will experience pain. Like Mary, we will face death and loss and perhaps even persecution. Mary demonstrated that she is willing to stand near and join her heart to those who suffer. Therefore, when you face pain and loss, turn to Mary. Recall all that she suffered and ask that she intercede for you with her Son, that you too might remain faithful and holy even as you suffer. Our Lady of Sorrows, pray for us.
That's it for Catholic Sprouts today. We'll be back tomorrow, but until then, continue to grow in your faith and truly sprout into the beautiful creation that God created you to be.
Thank you so much for listening to the Catholic Sprouts podcast. I hope that you enjoyed this week of audio stories. If you would like to download more coloring pages and listen to more audio stories, which is truly such a simple and beautiful way to live liturgically in your home or classroom, then I invite you to do that for absolutely free. Simply follow the link in this podcast episode's notes to be a subscriber of Catholic Sprouts, and you will instantly get access to everything. Bookmark the page, come back during the various months of the year, download as many as you like, and we truly hope that they bless your family and your classroom.
This podcast is part of the Spoke Street Network. For more great podcasts, visit spokestreet.com.